a big check.
We have been anticipating Drake and J. Cole both dropping a diss sometime soon.
You've been anticipating?
Drake's gonna respond, Xavier. I
He
just want
said
you to
he
know
was.
that.
Already responded. He's
No.
responded
He
on
said he's
Twitter,
busy.
and he's responded on Instagram.
Let's see
He
what
said
he
he
said.
was busy.
Let's see what he said. Let's see.
I mean, what are you gonna say? Imagine you on tour.
My fucking head up high. Cause you know how I'm feeling? I got my fucking head up high, my back straight. I'm 10 fucking toes down in Florida or anywhere else I go. And I know that no matter what, it's not a nigga on this earth that can ever fuck with me in my life. And that's how I want you to walk out of here tonight.
He took that shit so personal. He sound hurt.
But in order to, get yourself all gassed up, riled up, and move towards the future, sometimes you gotta acknowledge the mistakes that you made in the past, right?
Acknowledge the mistakes.
Right?
Why he turned this into a...
So this is what I want you to do. Everybody in here.
Now,
Wait,
people.
so what did he play
Now,
after?
people have said that he does say a speech like that every concert. Now, did he add a little extra sauce to it? Probably.
Oh, yeah.
But he also said on IG, he released an IG said that, and I quote, "They rather go to war with me than admit that they." Wait, what? Hold on. Niggas can't read.
Stop.
They rather go to war with me than admit they are their own worst enemy. And this was the pictures that he had with that. He also had a Sexy Red picture in that group outing too. So
They're inseparable.
That's where you responded. I thought,
yeah,
I thought I saw the other picture where he was like on tour and he was like, "I'm gonna respond later" or something.
no, that wasn't.
Damn, where am I getting my news from?
Xavier, you are our resident Drake hater.
Amen.
And
for
you're
reasons
proud
such as
for
this.
reasons such as
Oh
this.
my
That ain't
gosh.
hip hop.
So this
That's
is
Real
hip
Housewives
hop.
of Atlanta.
This is hip hop. Since I've known you, Xavier, this is one thing that has made our friendship a real strong bond is the hip hop about it. So, what do you think about Drake's recent comments? Do you think he's going to respond? How do you think he's been handling this? He is on tour, so give him that.
I'll give him that.
Rick Ross, Future, Nav, of all people, they all have unfollowed him on social media.
Nav unfollowed him.
Nav unfollowed
That's
him.
He was repping OVO hard back in the day.
There
When
you
did
go.
they unfollow him after the
when the-
mixtape
Yeah, just
drop?
recently.
When the king
Just
speaks,
recently?
you listen.
Get the.
So,
I'm just
Xavier,
saying,
what do you-
I ain't gonna lie. Okay, you say your opinion. I'm gonna say mine.
Right. So
'Cause
what do you?
I
What,
gotta choose sides.
what do you think about how Drake has been handling this beef?
Drake's been handling this beef like Drake handles this beef. I already posted on. I posted on Twitter. I know I only got like 54 followers on Twitter, but I already posted on Twitter. Drake is only gonna respond on social media and on tour, and I'm not even gonna use the he's on tour, so I give him slack for not responding. Bro, he dissed. Who was he just dissing? He dissed Childish Gambino on tour.
True,
He had a whole.
but it wasn't a rap diss.
When does he really? He rarely does rap disses. We know he's a public speaker and he's a Twitter finger. He's not gonna drop bars dissing Kendrick because he doesn't have bars to diss Kendrick. He's not.
You don't think Drake has bars in the tuck? He has a
he was
USB
dissing
file.
them the entire time is what it came out. That's what I'm saying. To say that is crazy.
If he
I
had
just
it,
think,
he would drop it.
well, let me just say this. I
If
just
he
think
could, he would.
it's not even that. It's what I've been saying about rappers, and when you make music and you're making music that's timeless, it's just silly that you are, I would say, calling someone out, putting a name in. I think it's just better when you just send those shots. And so people are like, who is he talking about? But also the song is still good and you don't even know it's a diss, which Drake has been able to do very successful to the point where we didn't even know there was real beef with them until they really dropped the song. Like, we know Metro
I'll go back to what
and
K-Dot
Future, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, like, yeah, his verse on there was great, but is it timeless? Is it, I'm gonna always listen to this song in the future? That's all I have to say about it. It's just the same thing.
Week.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not saying I could listen to that
it's
beat all week because
so
that
hard.
beat alone, my goodness, like they should have like a producer or some type of like show, or you know how they do a little ciphers for rappers. They should do a cipher for fucking producers because Metro, at the end of the day, that should already raise his fucking prices tremendously. Dropping that
hip hop, and that's what happens when you have such a commercial figure being the staple of hip hop. Not everything is meant to be timeless. Sometimes you gotta drop a track dissing a nigga.
I I get that.
And sometimes when you drop a track dissing somebody, those are timeless. People still talk about
Control.
Ether. People still talk. I'm just bringing it back to Nas.
Right.
People still talking about Nas beefs, Nas diss tracks. People still consider Eminem's diss tracks. Like
mean,
you
you
can
do got
drop
some fire
Yeah,
diss
even like
tracks,
even like Cayman said, you can still drop a diss track and it still be considered a good song.
But I mean,
so somebody who is supposed to be considered as multifaceted when it goes to interchanging between multiple sounds, if he can't even drop a good song while talking mess.
Okay,
Like-
can I say one
okay.
thing? In Drake's defense, Xavier, we're gonna get to J. Cole in a minute. I think I have a different set of standards and rules for that fellow, Jermaine, than I do for Drake.
Well, he get a pass for me.
Don't do that. Don't let that
He
nigga
get a
off the
pass.
Don't
He-
let that
he-
nigga off the leash.
bro, he
But
barely got called
we'll
out.
talk about it. We'll
He
talk
barely
about it.
got
Yeah,
called
he
out.
did. He did. I agree with that. And Kendrick and him have a relationship. Drake and Kendrick do not have a relationship. Kendrick has wanted this 1v1 for 10 years now, even when he did the BET cypher, tucked a sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes. That's what he said.
Timeless. That was timeless.
Timeless.
That was timeless.
The thing I will say about Drake, and this is where I give him bell, that nothing has came out yet. Drake not only has to deal with Kendrick, who is the number one artist, well, in my opinion, the number one artist in the last 10 years of this generation, 15 years, the number one rapper, not artist, rapper in the last 10 to 15 years. A man that is diabolical when it comes to albums and how he constructs them and how they are created and how they sound and all this. So you're not dealing with Meek Mill. You're not dealing with Pusha T, who some will say that is out of his prime, or it wasn't really Drake's beef at the time. That was really a Lil Wayne Pusha T thing. Drake is dealing with Kendrick Lamar. So you have Kendrick Lamar on here. I'm going to put that on the shelf for now for what Drake's problems are right now. Drake also has Future, who he's been having a 10-year plus relationship with when it comes to features. They did an album together. They have a lot of history. So for him and Future to now have a little tit for tat, that's another something Drake has to deal with. Rick Ross now. 10 plus years.
Back music, okay.
10
I'm
plus
sorry.
years,
sorry.
10 plus year relationship, a lot of features that Drake and Rick Ross have done together, a lot of successful songs, a lot of successful records. Now you're dealing with that. We're not talking about now or nothing like that, but you have a lot to deal with in the time you have and you're on tour. So I do cop him bell because he is on tour. He has a lot to deal with, and he is the biggest artist in the world right now when it comes to rap.
Acting like he's never had somebody write a song before.
Well, let me just say this though.
Come on.
Let me just say this though. At the end of the day, everyone that you just listed that has to, in his defense, he did say that they really have to team up to go after him. I think says enough. And then you're talking about they just now started unfollowing him. To me, that's just weird. Like if you had beef, let it be beef. Come out, say something. You waiting, and I'm gonna wait, and I'm gonna match up with all these other niggas. To me, it does kind of look a little, in my opinion, like you had to get all these niggas to come at me. Like what?
Yeah, but that's
I don't
a-
like the team up stuff.
No, that's a future- that's
let
a
me just
future
say what I have
Metro
to
thing.
Say, though, I mean future Metro, but then they went and got Kendrick. Then they went and got The Weeknd. Then they went and do hella shots at him. I'm just saying. Drake didn't recruit J. Cole to like, hey, we're finna take shots at everybody. No, he recruited J. Cole because J. Cole has talent. And as you mentioned, he's one of the biggest artists of like right now. He's going after people with talent just to get that out there. And he had his little disses, but he's not recruiting other people to come and take shots at other people. And to me, I'm just saying, like, if I had to choose a side, that is one of the situations where I am kind of looking at them a little weird because it's like, why you have to get so many people or do it in such a way just to come after one person? That's all I gotta say.
I don't think that's what it is, though.
That's what it's
I think
getting.
it's just a golden opportunity.
No.
Just like Kendrick dissed when he hopped on Big Sean's song and dissed the entire industry a few years ago. Sometimes you just get a beat that just speaks to you, and it's just speaking like, "Hey, I gotta let the whole industry know." And I don't think
I'm not saying
anybody's
it's
really
bad.
focusing on Future's part of the song as a diss towards anybody. I think they're all really
The
just
whole
considering
album is.
Kendrick's verse alone, and I think.
The whole album
It's
is.
blasphemy to say Kendrick got to team up with anybody.
And that's what I want to
diss
get to.
Drake.
Hold on. Wait.
No, let me finish though. Because then it's like at the end of the day, can he just release a track by himself dissing Drake? And then can Drake do a
Cabria,
track?
he's done
That's
this
what I'm
for 10
saying.
years. That's what I'm
he's
saying. You
dropped
cannot
he's
put
dissed the entire
Kendrick. You
industry
cannot put
multiple
Kendrick.
He's been dissing Drake this entire
Cabria,
time.
Cabria.
multiple time.
Cabria, you cannot
Full
put
full songs.
Since
Cabria,
Schoolboy was in a bucket.
Cabria, you cannot put Kendrick Lamar, who has said, but a rapper with a
Maybe I
ghostwriter.
don't know a lot of history about this.
But that's what I'm saying.
Because, I mean, that could apply to a lot of niggas.
But
Like,
hold
rapper with
on. That's what I'm
ghostwriter.
saying when it comes to these niggas on TikTok that are saying shit about me. I listened to a song by J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar called Temptation when nobody knew who fucking Kendrick Lamar was. He was in a fucking music store with skinny Schoolboy Q. Number one time he was skinny. The first time that nigga was
Oh
skinny.
my gosh.
And him
Shout
and
out
Kendrick
to
had a
Ozempic.
fucking song called Temptation, and I'm listening to that shit like it's the Bible or the gospel. So I've been covering this shit. I've been studying this shit. When it comes to Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole, when it comes to the rap element of that, I've been studying this for 10 plus years. I know every single thing about this. So when I
Okay.
say that, I say this: Kendrick Lamar has said multiple times, if you want to call it, what do they call the shots that are not direct? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Those kind of shots. But a rapper with a
Yeah.
ghostwriter, what the
Sub-diss
fuck happened?
Subliminals.
There you
Yeah.
go, subliminal
Yeah,
diss.
I tried.
That's not a subliminal diss to me. But a rapper with a ghostwriter, what the fuck happened? He said that on King Kunta. That was 2014. He
But
also
at the
said
end of
it.
the day, how do you know that's about Drake? That's what I'm
But
saying
that's
about
what you said.
Timeless.
That's what you said you like though.
I'm
Like,
going to tuck a sensitive.
No, I said I don't.
I'm gonna
I like
tuck
the
a
sub-
sensitive
I'm saying
rapper
I
in his
like that.
pajama
That's
clothes.
timeless.
I'm gonna tuck a sensitive rapper. They know we know who he's talking
I'm
about.
just saying.
Control.
I don't know.
Drake didn't like that. He said what he said on the BET Cypher. He said what he said on King Kunta. Kendrick has had multiple. Jay-Z Hall of Fame, sit your punk ass down. That's what he said about Drake in the Hard Part 4. Like, I've studied the whole shit. I know exactly what Kendrick is talking about in certain areas and aspects when it comes to Drake because we've had this beef for 10 plus years. Kendrick doesn't need Future, Metro. Yeah, Fox, get your ass in here because I'm about to talk about J. Cole too because he ain't fucking responded. Kendrick doesn't need J. Cole, Future, any of them to release a song about Drake. He has been asking for this 1v1
Okay, well-
for 10 plus years.
Okay, take
Drake
Kendrick
needs to
out.
get it in the booth. Oh, yeah, I like how you said that because
I'm just saying, just take him out then. If
Let's
I was
take-
wrong, I could go do my whole little searching and all that. Because at the end of the day, to your point, I didn't know that. I
Let's-
guess the beef was there. I'm gonna say take Kendrick out.
Let's
So
take
what's your
Kendrick out.
thing with Metro. And,
let's take Kendrick out.
Future?
I think that what Rick Ross did, all of a sudden you're
What did
gonna
Rick Ross do?
he's in the car listening to Like That and he's specifically playing Kendrick Lamar's verse where he's dissing this
Is
nigga
that
Drake.
not a bitch ass move?
that's a bar though.
I
No,
think
I'm just saying how a weird way to find out
that
somebody
is.
don't fuck with you.
I think
I'm
that-
gonna post this video on fucking social media and then unfollow you.
I think that
To me, that's a bitch ass move. I'm
I-
gonna be honest with you. That's weird as fuck. You're
I think-
taking the opportunity, you're running with it, and it might be the losing team.
Maybe
you don't know.
Maybe
It
they
could
tried
be
to
the
tell
losing
him. He
team.
just don't get the hint.
No. I do think that Rick Ross,
There's ways to
Future,
tell people you don't fuck with them,
Metro, all these niggas, if they were to team up, I do think that is kind of like, damn, y'all are teaming up on this nigga. But if he's doing shit to fuck with
That's
them,
what we
The
said.
Weekend too, dang near.
what did Drake do?
That's
Drake
what I'm
must have
saying.
dissed him for them to act like that.
What did Drake do?
All I'm saying, if it's beef, let it be beef. But I'm just saying the fact that it just seems like hella people are getting up against him. I'm like, at the end of the day, on the surface, not knowing everything, it does look weird. It looks really weird, especially people that you never knew had beef with somebody. And all of a sudden, this drops, this person comes out, this person comes
But
out.
who's
like,
really-
why are y'all behind scenes being all weird and stuff?
Who's
like
really
that?
The only person
teaming
that-
up?
Yeah, and the only
Future and
You just
Metro are,
listed all that.
but Future and Metro are a
They
duo.
did cool,
Yeah.
but you know what? We should have took notes though when Drake was running around with 21, because I was wondering where Future was at.
Right.
I really was, because I thought Future
You
and
said
Drake
that.
were actually really solid as. That was a really good, like,
Why he running
solid
with the
kind of group.
Savage?
I mean, Savage. I mean, Future. You know, he's
He traded Metro and Future for J. Cole and 21 Savage.
Why won't Drake respond, Xavier?
he's on tour. He's busy.
He has a
booked and busy.
No. He has a history of dodging smoke. Especially Drake.
He went out Pusha T.
But then when he was told to stop, he stopped. He listened, which was smart. I'll give him that. Good choice. But like Drake,
Mill.
Drake is money focused. He's not focused on putting out just music in general.
Right.
He wants to put out stuff that he knows is gonna bang. He's not gonna go into a battle he knows he's gonna lose. He's not going to put out a
I don't
track.
think he's gonna lose. At this point, he can't
whatever
lose.
track-
Drake is at the top.
whatever
How
track-
is he gonna lose? Who's gonna take over for Drake? I'm not even trying to be funny.
And that's exactly
He's
why
gonna lose.
that's
He's
exactly
gonna
why
lose.
he's getting that's exactly why he's getting dissed.
Okay.
Because people really think Drake is the number one artist.
He's the number one artist right now.
He's the number one
yes.
artist for
He's
this
the
exact.
number one
He's the
top
number one
right
artist for
now.
this exact reason.
I'm not saying
he only
talent,
releases
rapper.
music that he knows is going to sell. He is not gonna drop a song that he knows
No.
for a fact is going to be compared to Like That in a verse by Kendrick Lamar. That's a losing battle.
I mean, at the end of the day,
He's not doing that.
He dropped Honestly Nevermind, and to me, that was a fail. But all I have to say
And
is,
that wasn't his first fail.
I just think that at the end of the day, Drake's at the top. He's on tour. Them ganging up on him is not going to change what he's doing. He'll get to it when he gets to it. When you at the top, it's like, okay, I'll get to it when I get to it. That's it. Because does it take away from his stardom? Does it automatically, oh my gosh, Future's going to replace Drake? No.
So
Well, we're not talking about.
So take your time getting to it, but the whole time you're on tour.
He's probably like, fuck it, I'll respond when I respond.
So I'm gonna respond when I respond, but the
Yeah.
whole time I'm on tour, I'm gonna be stumping around talking about. I got all these rappers
Throwing
I gotta
hissy
pretend
fits.
I'm friends with. I got a lot of enemies. Got a lot of enemies,
enemies.
but I'm gonna take my time on responding.
I mean, at
he's
the end of the
not
day,
gonna respond.
he's
When it
gonna
comes
respond.
to this, he's gonna post on his story, and he might put another little chant talking about Kendrick ain't the king. But he's not dropping no song.
You know what? Drake is
not.
probably the most sneaky niggas who gonna respond behind the scenes, and this is probably where in another 2 years we're gonna have another wave of people coming out, and maybe that's
said
where
it?
this wave of people coming out. Maybe Drake already saw the stuff with Kendrick.
Yeah.
He saw how Future's moving. He saw how Metro's moving, and then he was doing shit behind the scenes,
Oh,
and then they dropped this
dang.
album.
Not
So
to-
maybe that's the situation. Maybe he's like, I'm not gonna respond out front because I have to keep this. I'm an artist. I'm the number one. Everyone fucks with me. But behind the scenes, I'm gonna do some grimy stuff. For example, I'm gonna make sure that 21 gets on this album. I'm gonna make sure I put J. Cole up. I'm gonna start collabing.
He could
with
do everything
60.
but drop a song.
But it's not even that. But I don't know. I feel like he's
could do
playing a
everything but
different type of
respond.
game with them. I don't think I'm just saying he can respond when he wants to respond. I'm just saying when you're at the top. At the situation, I'm not saying Drake is the top rapper. I would never say that. Let me be clear.
Even if
I
he's
would
at
never
the
say
top,
that.
though, it's not just some regular person that took a shot at him. This is somebody who's on the same level, or arguably, not on a higher pedestal than him.
I'm just
This is
saying,
somebody
Drake's
coming
not
out the
a
cut.
rapper.
This is the king coming out the cut
Well,
saying,
he's a
"Hey,
rapper.
y'all know y'all praising false idols.
Okay.
He ain't really him." And that's what I've been trying to tell
Oh my
y'all
gosh.
since 2017.
I get what
Does
you're saying.
Drake drop
I have
good
to pick a
music?
side, though.
Does Drake drop good music, or does his music sell regardless because people are already expecting and wanting it?
Okay,
His
let her-
fan base-
let her-
his fan base speaks for
Let her
himself.
pick a side, and then I'm gonna come straight to you.
Because if I had to
Let her
pick a
come-
side, I already said it looks weird, and I get your point about Drake and stuff, and I would never say Drake is a better rapper than Kendrick. To your entire point, he knows he will lose. But if you can't sit here and say if Kendrick was at the top and has been able to maintain his stardom throughout the years, this wouldn't have to be a conversation because then it would obviously be a threat to Drake, and he's gonna respond. Kendrick has not really, like his last album, Mr. Morale, I liked it. I was like, okay, I listened to J. Cole, so of course I liked it. But at the end of the day, Kendrick hasn't been able to maintain, like, yes, we all know when it comes to rap, he has that talent. He just hasn't been able to, in my opinion, and I said it before, maintain that with especially the younger generation. Like, in my opinion, the younger generation just being relevant. And that's what I'm saying as far as where Drake is at. He's going to respond when he responds. Now, if Kendrick was at the top of the game up there with Drake, he'd probably get a response quicker. I'm just saying he's not. So maybe Drake's like, I'll just respond when I want to respond. You coming in and out the game. You're in fashion. You're doing all these extra shit. I'm going to respond to you when I respond to you because at the end of the day, you are a threat, but you're really not a threat to me right now in my position that I'm at. That's all I think it is.
All right.
That's it.
Exit.
That's all I gotta say. It's like Nicki. All the people going after Nicki. I mean, mind you, I do love Megan.
Ain't nobody
And
talking
I'm
about
gonna
that
go see
album.
Megan.
Right.
But
We're gonna
it
talk
is the
about.
same
We'll talk
thing.
about Nicki
That
later
album.
with
It's the
Cardi
same.
B.
What do you mean? Pink Friday, her tour is doing really good. It's sold out.
Okay.
And I'm mad I missed it.
Can I?
But
I'm
I'm just saying it's
can-
the same thing. You're
can-
not at the same level.
Okay.
Now Nicki
Okay.
responds to
Can-
Megan because what? Megan was a threat to her. I hate to say it, but I don't think Kendrick is a threat to Jake. I
Okay.
meant
Meg
Jake
Thee
to
Stallion
Drake.
is a
Hold on.
bigger
Hold-
threat to
hold on.
Nicki Minaj
Yes, of course,
than
110%.
Kendrick
That's
Lamar
one.
is
That's
to
In
that's
Drake.
comparison?
Stop.
Yes.
Please stop. Please stop.
No, I
But-
said my opinion, and we'll see again
Please-
in the
please
comments.
stop.
Do you
Please
see
stop.
exactly what I'm saying? No, I did say what I said. As far as someone to take Nicki Minaj off the top, Megan was definitely taking
Okay,
her
when it
position.
comes to-
when it comes to taking Drake out
Yeah.
of the spot, Kendrick, I'm not saying he's not a good rapper. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying he has struggled to maintain his relevancy throughout the years, and Drake has been able to do that. So at that point, he's not a threat to him. That's it. That's my opinion. So I'm gonna pick a side, and I stand on that.
So going with what you
I
said,
stand on
then,
that.
who drops more music and more often, Kendrick Lamar or Drake?
Drake.
So I would think Drake is going to be in the headlines more when he's dropping albums once a year. He's on everybody's song. He's on all over social media. He's tapped in on social media on Twitch with kids. So of course he is going to be more talked about when it comes to younger audiences, when it comes to people in general, because every time you turn on the radio, every time you go on social media, you're going to see Drake. Kendrick Lamar doesn't
you're
have
making my
to.
argument for
Kendrick
me.
Lamar does not have to drop at the same consistency or freaking rate as Drake for his music to receive even half the accolades that Drake has. Kendrick Lamar has more accolades than Drake with dropping
I'm not gonna say
half
he
the
doesn't.
albums, half the singles, half the features.
Once again,
so how
I'm
can
not
you say
saying
so, but
quality
now-
of music. I think we just had this whole discussion about Cardi B. I'm not saying quality of music or how good of a
But that's
rapper
exact-
is.
but
There's
no,
no
but now
comparison.
you're making my
He's
point.
an artist
But now
and
you're
an
making my-
entertainer.
but now you're
and
making my
Kendrick
point
is a
for me.
rapper.
Okay, can
making
you
my
guys
point
let?
for me.
Can you guys please
We're
let?
talking.
Okay.
We're talking
My
about
argument
the
lies.
top of
Those who
rap.
get it.
How can you
I don't know
say
what to say.
Drake is the top of rap when you just said I'm not talking about quality of music?
Okay,
Once
so let
again,
me. Can I?
Drake's at the top because you see the quality of rip.
No.
Can I
what rap is
enter
about right
fucking
now?
Jack?
No.
Please, guys, let me
guys are
interject
tripping,
so
bro.
I can
You're
steer this
tripping.
conversation somewhere because
Yeah,
we're
steer
talking
it,
about
steer it.
y'all are talking about two different things, and I'm trying to explain that. If y'all, please, okay. Drake is chasing something, like Xavier has already said. The last 6 to 7 albums from Drake have been, I'm gonna lead the charts. I'm gonna make the hit. I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z to go. This is his second tour in the last year. So what that tells me is behind the scenes, Drake, if it's by his own volition, if it's because of the deal he signed to get more albums out, to get more looks and shit like that, something is fueling Drake to do what he's doing now, and that is not real rap. Drake, his first album was really legitimately rapping. Drake for years has said how he is a big fan of hip hop and that he studies certain people and certain different eras of hip hop, and he knows what comes. He knows that he needs to respond. He knows that he needs to do X, Y, and Z. That's not the game he's playing now. To Cabria's point, the game he's playing now is being the biggest artist. Now, the dilemma for Drake, even though these niggas are coming for him, is: do you want to solidify yourself like you say on your records, like you say on 8 a.m. in Charlotte, like you say on every now and then when you decide, hey, I want to rap, I want to do this.
You want to be the greatest, nigga?
You want to be the greatest.
Prove it. Show me.
One dude
One away
has
from Michael, they
came.
could beat it.
Right. One dude has came
I'm sorry. That's a good.
that
Let's outlive
That's a
Mike
good
Jack.
award.
like I was listening to Schoolboy Q's interview with Paul George earlier today, and he was saying how when Kendrick was K-Dot, he would make records that they wouldn't say is like good records now, but Kendrick was trying to be a rapper. He was trying to do the rapper voice. He was trying to do that. When he really started speaking truth to power, when he really started saying shit on records that maybe people wouldn't normally say, when he just started being himself, when he had the rebrand of Kendrick Lamar, it was different for him. He became what he became. Schoolboy already saw the greatness in him, but he became what he became. So you're fighting that right now. Like, you're not just fighting the game that you've been playing this whole time. And I don't know why Drake is playing the game. It could be a money thing. Like you said, he's money driven.
It's a money thing.
But are you going to put your hat out there and say that you're the greatest rapper of all time, that you can really own this rap shit? That is what Drake has been saying for years and years and years, and this is his time to prove it. But he can't rush this, Xavier. And why I say he can't rush this, you know he has a lot hanging on this.
Exactly.
He already lost to Pusha T.
Yes, I agree.
This is real rap stuff. He hasn't been doing this. We have all agreed that for all the dogs, we kind of liked her loss, but that was 21
For
Savage.
All the dogs, and then Scary Hours 2 or 3. I don't know. Scary Hours. I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
But he
exactly.
has
You
to-
didn't really like those albums.
I
Her
mean,
loss
I
was
like,
okay. Honestly, never mind. But what I'm saying
he
is his
could.
last
That's
5 to 6
literally
albums, his last 5 to 6 albums have not been good. Have not been good quality. To me, as somebody who can say, "Oh, I'm a Drake fan," I can tell in the music that you're chasing something. I can tell in the music that you don't really want to rap. I can tell in the music that you're not really doing this shit for artistry. So I have a fucking problem with that. I have a fucking problem because you want to sell all these records and go on tour and talk about nobody can fuck with you and do all this, but you're not really putting in the time and effort that other nigga in Compton is putting in every single album that he has. Okay. Now y'all want to talk about Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers all the time. Y'all want to talk about Kendrick.
I liked it.
Y'all want to talk about Kendrick has not been relevant. He just said for 1,855 days I've been going through something. What was he talking about in those 1,855 days? The nigga had writer's block. So I don't understand where we get the comparison of he hasn't been relevant to this generation when he doesn't just drop shit. You don't think that Kendrick could just drop records left and right if he wanted to, like Drake?
If he wanted to and hired a good writer.
I've been going through something. I want to give y'all something that will actually be relevant and help y'all in this time in present day. Like, that's what all Kendrick Lamar's albums have been going through. So, of course, he's been on a hiatus because I'm not going to give you guys anything if I don't really, truly feel like this is a passion project for me. Also, that nigga was in a deal with TDE, and we're going to talk about them later, and we're going to talk about Punch, who's the manager, who has said, when it comes to quality and quantity of your music, like, the field is already saturated. So what are we doing dropping more and more shit to this saturated field of music that's ever evolving and changing? So he had to deal with that as well. We haven't saw Kendrick Lamar independent before. This is him now with PG Lang. That's maybe why he took this shot now. But all I'm saying is I felt like you guys were making two different points because Cabria is going to the artist area and you're going to the rap aspect of the whole situation.
And that's where I disagree with you.
Okay.
Because I'm not misconstruing. I'm not misconstruing what Cabria is saying. I'm trying to bring it all together.
Okay.
The reason I believe Kendrick came out and dissed Drake is the reason why we all just agreed Drake is perceived as the number one artist. He's dropping quantity. He's dropping a lot of music. He's chasing accolades. He's trying to be the number one artist. He's going into different genres of music and trying to be the best, just releasing music that he knows is going to be good, recording with the hottest artists, the most upcoming artists.
Right.
He has his foot in every industry.
Right.
So of course he's going to be at the top.
Right.
So now when you're talking about quality, we're talking about quality.
And rap and real rap shit.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what we're talking about, quality, and we're talking about rap. Drake wants to be perceived as the best rapper.
Right.
How can you be perceived as the best rapper when you don't be dropping quality rap? Then when you talk about Drake is the number one artist, that's exactly why Kendrick is dissing him. How is the number one artist or the person who wants to be perceived as the number one rapper not even dropping quality
Your
music?
best work is a light pack.
Well,
How are you not
I'm not about to go back and forth with you on Drake because
saying.
at the end of the day, if it was J. Cole and we're having this conversation, it's totally two different topics.
Fuck J. Cole.
No, don't ever say that. Y'all constantly disrespect him, and I never say.
But we're not talking about J. Cole. We're talking about Drake.
And that's where I think
we're talking about Drake.
That's where me and you have a huge disconnect because I would never put.
What is the messages behind Drake's albums?
Oh my goodness!
You have to put him in there because he's putting him in there, Cabria.
I'm not putting him in there.
You have to. He's putting him in. He's putting himself in there.
But I'm saying you're talking to pick a side.
I don't think you understand the beef because Kendrick is telling Drake, "You are not him.
Right.
You are not the guy you think you are."
Listens to
and
rap
for the
knows
past,
that. Every nigga, every person here who really listens
maybe
to
you're not
rap.
understand what I'm saying because for the past 10 years, Drake has been saying
thing.
I don't think we are. Because for the past 10 years, Drake has been saying, I am the number one artist.
The number one rapper. The number one fucking rapper,
Kendrick
Fox.
Lamar drops
know
a
that.
diss
I didn't know
literally
that.
telling him, just because you think you're the number one artist, just because you
But
think
he
you have
is.
all these top songs on the charts, when have the charts ever meant shit? Just because people are telling you you're the number one doesn't mean you're number one.
In this oversaturated
Doesn't mean
fucking
you're number
market.
one.
In this
Just 'cause you-
oversaturated
I'm not about
fucking
to go
market.
You
back
drop
and
an
forth with
album
you.
every 6 months.
I'm not
just
going back
because
and
you
forth
drop
with
a
you,
new
bro.
song every 2 weeks, just because you drop a single with every up and coming and hottest artist, just because you're chasing these awards,
mad.
doesn't mean you're actually number one. You can
Oh my
Jack Harlow
God.
had a song on the number one list, and I ain't never even heard the fucking song.
First
Right.
of all, that
So
song
what the
is
fuck does
really
a chart
good.
mean?
Right.
So what does a chart
I
mean?
like that song.
What does a chart mean?
I don't like
that
no
doesn't
whip
mean
and change. You
that
can't
doesn't
put me down.
mean a damn
Don't do Jack
thing.
A
Harlow.
damn thing.
Drake is literally chasing all the accolades that
Right.
don't mean anything.
Nothing.
But the one accolade he can't get is from the real hip hop heads telling him he's a fake rapper.
And this is the only
He's
thing.
a fake
Okay.
rapper.
Cabria, this is a hip hop.
Why am I confused? Are we like?
Go
Why
ahead.
are you arguing? I agree with that, and that's what's just throwing me off the entire time. Like that's why I said another comparison. Let
Because
me
you're
finish.
saying
Let
Drake
me
doesn't
finish.
need to respond.
I didn't say Drake
doesn't-
didn't need to
You said
respond.
Drake can
I
take
said
his
he can
time
take
and
his time to
he can take
respond.
his
Yes,
time
he
in
can.
responding to Kendrick Lamar because
Yes, he
he's the
can.
bigger artist.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why Kendrick Lamar dissed him. You're not the biggest artist in reality. You're the biggest
Okay.
artist because your fans are 14 years old and believe
No.
that just because you have a certain amount of songs on the charts, that's actually what real hip hop is. You can
Okay.
drop 7 albums with absolutely no meaning just because they'll get on number one, you're the number one artist. Versus
Okay.
somebody who drops an album once every 2 years, every 3 years with meaning and impactful messages who, in return, sells more.
And
Drake
that's-
just passed him on tours.
Damn.
So how is he the bigger artist?
And
That's what
so-
I'm confused on.
I mean, okay, and I think what we need to do.
And that's why he's not responding, because he knows this already.
I don't. Okay,
He knows
I
this.
think at the end of the day, the points that you made are very valid. All I'm saying, and like you already said it, as far as quantity and as far as being able to again stay relevant, as I've been mentioning, to reach different generations, even to reach different groups, to even open up. And we have seen this as well. There has been a transition in hip hop, in rap, where everybody has been let in. Where there's just, to you guys' point, an oversaturation in the fucking marketplace right now. To that point, I just think Drake has been able to use that to try to you guys' point, try to solidify as a better rapper. But I would not put Drake in, if we talking about rap and who's the better rapper, Drake's not up there. I agree with you on that because of the fact, to your point, when it comes to releasing music, which is why, I love J. Cole. And because taking
can't
your
wait to
time.
get to that nigga.
Yeah, wait till you drop that album.
No, I
But I'm
can't wait
saying
till we
he's
get to that
taking-
nigga right
we're
now.
I'm just saying when it comes to being a rapper, you have to take the time releasing quality music. And I agree with that. That's all I'm saying. But I think it is interesting that we should point out there has been a little weird transition where I think because, again, so many people listen to hip hop, because some people listen to what rap is considered today, that you're seeing Drake doing what he's doing, and then you see J. Cole hopping on so many singles, which I think is very interesting now that we're having a conversation, because then it could be argued that J. Cole is doing the same thing Drake's doing, but he's not doing it in a way
White
where
Skin
it
Brothers.
impacts his credibility, because when it comes to his actual albums that he puts out, it is quality. But his singles that he has been doing and hopping on a lot of people's music, which he said he was going to do, is allowing him to be relevant and to have those same fans that Drake has, because rap has, again, opened up to so many people. But to your point, when it comes to actual who going bar to bar, who definitely has the greatest rap album of all time, I think Drake knows that.
And Cabria, you said that you're not putting him in that conversation, and I can totally agree
I
and
just say
understand
that,
that.
but that's all I'm
what
saying.
What me and Xavier
To a
are
lot
saying.
of young people, he might be the best rapper.
Okay,
because they
but
don't know anything else. 'Cause
1000%,
it's just over
1000%.
so much Drake out there.
But what me and Xavier are
Drake out
saying,
there, though.
growing up in this hip hop shit, I have to keep saying this. Growing up in this hip hop shit, watching Beanie Siegel versus Jadakiss, watching Nas versus Jay-Z, watching how
We're not
beef.
there no more. That's the whole point I'm trying to make.
Okay, I
We're not there no more.
100% agree with that.
Okay.
You have to. I don't care what time we're in. I don't care if it's 2024. In 2024, when a rapper calls you out on some straight, who's the best rapper, who's the best lyrical person, you have to respond not only because of that, but this is a legacy defining moment. We have talked about the quote unquote big three, and no matter where you have the big three, they have never been in beef with each other. We have never seen this in hip hop where there's not beef with the top rappers. DMX was going at Jay-Z's head like, I'm gonna try to outsell him. There's always tension at the top. The big three now has to solidify themselves. And we're going to make sure for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years until this earth is over, we're going to know, and this battle will define who was the best out of the three, because they went mano a mano, war for war, 1v1, fight versus fight, fist versus fist, lyric versus lyric, rap versus rap, nigga. You're going at each other, and now we'll see who is better.
Okay,
that's it.
And I'm saying kids nowadays don't give a fuck. They listen to
okay,
NBA.
then fuck those kids. Fuck those kids. I'm not talking to those kids. Fuck those kids.
But Drake,
we're talking about rap.
But Drake wants the respect of an OG rapper.
Right.
Drake can put out this music. Drake can put out this trash music. And he can put out music just to make money.
Trash music.
I don't have a problem with him in a pursuit of just trying
to rebrand what hip hop and rap should be.
How much shit did you download from For All the Dogs? Because now you really want to have this conversation. We're gonna have it. How much stuff did you download from For All the Dogs?
I can pull it up right now.
Yeah, pull it up right now, because the conversation me and Xavier are saying is you make a fucking album. That shit is like 20 fucking records long. How many of them number one were rap? How many number one were good? You're playing the playlist game, Drake. And we know you're playing the playlist, Drake. How many? How many?
I have Amen.
Okay.
First Person Shooter. Jewel Picasso. What Would Pluto Do? Okay. BBL Love. Okay. That's just the interlude, so that doesn't really count. Gently. I don't even know what Bad Bunny's saying, but I did like that song. Rich Baby Daddy. And then Polar Opposite.
Can you go to Show Complete Album and show me how many tracks that was?
What do you mean?
It
was 8 songs that I had downloaded. Show Complete Album.
Tell me how many.
He has 23 songs.
23 songs on the album, and you downloaded 8. And not only was that a 20
album, I didn't download all of it.
Not only was it a 23. Not only was it a 23 song album. Not only was it a 23 song album. That nigga dropped 6 more tracks after that.
And I did.
So the fucking shit is 29 tracks long, and you have 8 fucking tracks. That doesn't happen with Kendrick Lamar when we're talking about classics and the shit that he fucking drops. Stop. You can listen to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers as a whole fucking entity. That's a whole fucking book. That's a whole fucking album. You don't listen to Drake's shit in the last 10 years and say, this is something that I say this album is great. Drake hasn't had a classic since Take Care.
He did.
Drake hasn't had a classic since Take Care. What have you been doing since 2011, nigga?
And honestly,
he did eat me up, because I do have Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I have the full album downloaded.
That's tough.
I must admit, even 18 songs.
I'll even go against you a little bit on that.
I have it all downloaded.
I don't even believe that Kendrick Lamar and Drake are honestly in the same lane.
They're not. They're different
when you
lanes.
look at their music, I'm not thinking they're similar artists.
Right.
He did eat me up there.
But that is just the era that we're in.
True.
Hip hop is really linear in the genre tag.
Right.
So I don't have a problem with Drake putting out music that he knows is just gonna sell just for the sake of being sell. I don't think anybody has a problem with that. He can do that. I think the problem comes when he then tries to say he's a certain level of a rapper better than a Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
When it's like, okay, Drake, now you're stepping into a lane where you have not proved yourself at all. You cannot say you're the king of basketball when you ain't never stepped on a professional court.
Right.
How can you say you're the king? You can be the king of putting out music that goes number one automatically. You can be the king of first week hits.
Right.
Okay. But what does that mean in the grand scheme of things?
Right.
Like you said, quality over quantity. He's trying to that's what he's been trying to do for the last 10 years. He's trying to insert himself into a lane that he has not proved himself with credentials from. Just because you make a lot of number one hits in one segue doesn't mean you're the number one hip hop artist in general.
Okay.
Rapper.
You cooking.
Just because Britney Spears got a lot of number one pop hits does not mean she is the best pop star. Does not mean she's the number one artist. Or you can't just cross over.
I think you should switch that to Taylor Swift, because Britney is that girl.
Brittany was that girl.
Well, I'm saying she's still alive.
Now
But
she
I get what
has
you're
a
saying. And you
bikini
know what?
on.
I think this conversation that would help other people as well, because I was sitting here listening, really taking it in, trying to learn. I just was thinking, like, is Kendrick and like J. Cole, well, J. Cole's been doing a lot lately, but are they kind of like the Beyoncés of rap? And then Drake is just the current person right now. And I say that because Beyonce, no one's going to question her. No one's going to question her talent. She's going to eat up every time. But she doesn't drop as much as she need. Well, she currently has been dropping a lot more. But she is very strategic with her drops. Mm-hmm. But without a doubt, everyone knows Beyonce's that. She's up there. She's that girl. And that's what I think helps with this conversation.
And I think that's
Kendrick
what pisses
is
J.
on
Cole
that
is
side.
not. J. Cole's not.
That's what pisses Drake
I think
off.
J. Cole, with all the feature runs he's been,
But we'll
taking
get
him
to
away
J.
from
Cole,
that.
yeah,
But I'm just saying, Kendrick is like the Beyonce of rap, is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, it's untouchable. You don't really need to say that. Then she pops up here and there, but when she does pop up, it's some fire ass shit, and real lovers and real people who respect hip hop and rap is gonna listen to it. That's what I think this conversation, and that helps to me bring it full circle, especially for a lot of the younger generations, and it helps them understand your point of view, in my opinion.
And that respect
Beyonce did
right
drop a
there,
new album.
that respect of being able to be unquestioned as a GOAT, that's what Drake wants.
Right.
And he has never been able to obtain that.
Okay,
you could be a great artist.
can see.
You're a
can see it.
generational artist,
Right.
but nobody that opinions counts. He could say how much he hates Joe Budden. You're not writing an essay about somebody who
Exactly, that you don't care about. Exactly.
Right.
It's
Okay.
like-
I'm just saying that just helps.
Infinity Stone. You get that fucking Infinity Stone, Drake. Let me tell you something right now. You get the Kendrick Lamar Infinity Stone, and you defeat him in a rap battle. You are now you can undisputedly say on your own resume that you believe you're the GOAT, and
See,
now that you
there we
have
go.
no
There we go.
other.
Bro.
You have no one that
Nothing.
can really challenge you on that
Okay.
because you took
See?
the Infinity Stone.
You got the other
I'm
nigga on your
fucking
side. He
right.
already got the J. Cole light-skinned brother Infinity Stone.
Don't
Right.
be trying to say that. J. Cole, once again,
Bro,
is just doing
Drake-
features with people.
Drake wants to
and
respect
Drake
that
releases
J. Cole
a lot
has,
of music,
and
and so
J. Cole
was doing features with him.
No.
Don't do
J.
that.
Cole wants the acclaim
They don't have,
and fame.
Drake wants
They don't
wants to
have
respect
Wait.
J. Cole has.
Let him say this because this is going on TikTok.
Because Drake wants to respect J. Cole has, and J. Cole wants the numbers that Drake has.
Thank
they're,
you.
they're teaming up.
Thank
Because you
you.
know
I don't
if you
think
you
so.
run you run
Thank
with
you.
Drake, you can
That's
get those
exactly what
numbers.
they're doing.
Because
Because
that's
at the end of the day-
that's the opposite. That's
No.
the opposite.
Bro,
That's what I
'cause
said.
at
That's
the
what I
end-
said last
Because
time.
at the end of the day, we have not seen a real Drake and fucking J. Cole album the same way we have seen a Drake and 21. Drake and Future. There has not been.
Because Jake-
Let me finish. Because at the end of the day, if you guys are speaking what you guys are trying to say, and I would give you guys that, but I haven't seen a situation where J. Cole is in there cooking, helping make a fucking album the same way that Drake has given opportunities and partnered up with other niggas. So don't sit here and say he's partnered up with him. No, J. Cole has been doing features with people. Drake has been releasing a lot of music. Ask and hop on. J. Cole has done features with other people out there right now, but y'all not on his dick for hopping on other people's fucking Bia, motherfucking Mike Will made it, Yachty. He's doing features for people who's producing music. So don't sit here and say he's teaming up with him, because a real team up would be a Drake and J. Cole fucking album. That's a real team up.
That would be
That would never-
that would expose Drake,
And
for
that would
being
never happen
trash.
because Drake
I'm just
wouldn't be
saying,
able to
don't
rap
put
with J. Cole.
in
Yeah,
there.
it would be real.
I'm just
It would be
saying.
real. That would never happen because it would be real apparent that Drake is not on the level of
The
Kendrick
fuck?
Lamar when he's not keeping up slightly
J. Cole.
And I
Right.
get that.
Because J.
And
Cole
it
and
might
Kendrick
actually- it
are
might-
very close, but one's ahead of the other.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not
It
trying to
actually
get.
might
I'm not.
help
Want
J.
no, I don't
Cole
want nobody
out,
coming
though.
from
And
my
it's
head
long,
right now.
and it's
Actually
long.
might be good. It
One's
might
ahead
be
of the
coming.
other,
It might be
and
coming.
one's from Compton. That's all I'll say.
Right.
Okay.
But
and one's from motherfucking Fateville.
and that's the number two.
I mean, even he was born in Germany. He moved when he was like 2 or 3. So
And
don't
now that we-
try to count him like he motherfucking 21.
Now that we
He's
brought
not
this,
British.
now that we brought this conversation, over to
I would
J.
like to
Cole.
see that though. I would like to see it.
Now that we brought this conversation over to J. Cole, let me say this about Jermaine. Kendrick released Like That about a week ago. I'm gonna,
He's still been out.
But shout out Bobby
bro.
Schmurder.
For real, for real. Respect.
J. Cole is in album mode, as you know.
Yeah, he's gonna drop.
Album's coming. Dreamville
And
Fest
probably
is
April.
coming April 3rd to 5th or something like
Yeah,
that.
it's
Beginning
soon.
of April. Mm-hmm. Why has J. Cole not dropped anything yet? You're in
Because-
album mode. You're already in the studio right now, my nigga.
What you mean?
I think that J. Cole is in a lose-lose situation either way because him and Kendrick have a relationship. So if you're gonna like somebody said this on Twitter, we think J. Cole gonna respond. He's just gonna give us another let Nas down and say I'll let Kendrick down. Like I don't know if y'all know the song "Let Nas Down" on his first album, where he was saying Nas didn't really mess with him because he went commercial. He went the commercial way and he had a commercial hit, and Nas wasn't really messing with him. He was like, I feel like I let Nas down. I mean, Nas was everything to me as a kid.
You telling me? Okay.
J. Cole is a very, and I respect this about the man a lot, but when it comes to hip hop, it's different. J. Cole is a very honest, from what we know. Let me say that. From what we know.
He is.
Very honest, has integrity,
Sure
very
does.
stand-up guy, very
more.
nice guy too.
Say more. You can
great
say,
rapper.
Say what else he's done.
Great rapper.
He's nice enough to put other people on.
And he went and played basketball in a little semi-pro league somewhere in Africa or something like that. So I love J. Cole. Anyway, I feel like he is too nice to respond to Kendrick even on some competitive shit. Because it's like, if him and Kendrick are cool, I mean, they've been in the studio for how long? How many? Kendrick's on Forbidden Fruit. That's one of my favorite J. Cole records ever. So they obviously had this relationship. TDE, Dreamville were very close. They did the Black Fridays. They had the quote-unquote album that we've never heard together. So they're kind of close. How do you respond to a nigga in a straight rap battle type thing when you really don't have bars for him? So that's why I feel like
the nigga didn't know. That's the one bar he could put in a song.
Yeah, I mean he could say that, but
I got a J. Cole bar he could say already. Like it's not that hard.
But my thing is, what Cole being nice, how he is the nice guy. What are you gonna prove rapping?
Nice guy.
You're gonna prove that you can rap good, which we already know. J. Cole, you can rap good. That's the point you've been making for the last 2 years with these feature runs, when you've been doing features with people that can't even
cleaning up
can't even step with you when it comes to song making. You need to stop making features with people who can't make songs with you. Like Lil Yachty is just not the rapper that you are. Shout out to Lil Yachty, shout out to what he's did, but he's just not the rapper you are. I'm sorry. So that song doesn't sound good because you have a verse on it and the whole rest of the song is trash.
Exactly.
But with saying that, Jermaine, what does Jermaine do at this point in time? Can he respond? Does he respond? Like, does he even need to? I feel like this is a lose-lose situation because he's going to come with Mr. Nice Guy shit.
And I mean, he's coming when he's going to come. Like, at the end of the day, you guys, this whole conversation we're having, we all realize it's really Kendrick versus Drake. Yeah. He had a few little, you just next to them.
Because they're really number 1 and 2. Cole is number 3.
Like,
and always will be.
After you just was, okay, not finna say what, I would say offline, but you know what I was thinking. That was some fake little whatever.
Bro,
anyway,
I'm ranking him amongst his peers.
Name a J. Cole song that's better than anything Drake's put out.
There's a lot of songs that's better than
I've never heard a J. Cole song.
What do you mean? He was just on
song.
I don't know, is that considered his song or is that still I wonder the song with Lil Durk. Is that his song?
You lost me.
All my life.
Yeah,
all my life is better than something,
bro.
No, I'm saying as far as like
I was just telling my dad I hate that song.
Tell me.
I mean, it's not, but a lot of people like that song. Oh, it's
he
very
liked that
catchy.
song too.
My dad likes that song too. I don't know what it is then with older people. They like that song.
I don't like.
But I'm just saying, is that his song?
Kids.
And then what? I thought it kind of eats a little bit. I don't like it. I ain't gonna listen to it in the car because it's just not my speed. But I'm just saying, J. Cole does have a lot of. He has a lot of music out there, but I think again with his feature run, the same thing with Kendrick, like Mr. Morale, Big Steppers. That's for people who really like rap and hip hop, and that's not going to be mainstream music, and people like that. And I'm saying J. Cole has a lot of music that people do like, but is it a lot of mainstream? Oh, it's going to be this turn up music that rap has become? No, because I feel like as we've been having this discussion, once again, rap has opened up in such a way that we are losing a lot of the true essence of what hip hop and rap is, and to the point is they're not going to be playing some deep thought Kevin's Heart photograph. Oh, well, till the tone ring. I mean, bell rings or whatever.
None of them are better than Kendrick songs. None of those songs are better than Kendrick songs. Our albums.
Kevin's Heart was kind of whack. Can't even lie to you.
No, that was a good
Drake
song.
do got some. I ain't gonna lie.
It was on some real ass, like the same with Mr. Morale Stappers and stuff. I think his was a really good transition, and J. Cole's music is a really good transition from a nigga who made it,
Now that I
who
think
was
about
making music and stuff about there, making
Cole kinda
music
weird.
just for commercial use, and then he starts telling the stories about his life, parallels, what he's been able to grow as a father, how he's just been growing, what he's been learning. Like J. Cole's music is really actually, it's like an autobiography in my opinion. But anywho,
J. Cole dang near ain't got a album better than Take Care. J. Cole damn near.
I thought we were talking
2014
about,
Forest Hills Drive is
That's
damn near
out
not better
there.
than Views.
20
2014 Forest Hills Drive is damn near
You're
not better than
joking.
Views.
I
It's not
mean,
better than Views.
no.
So J. Cole doesn't have an album better than
KOD.
Drake. J. Cole doesn't have an album better than
KOD
Kendrick
was
Lamar.
hella good.
J. Cole doesn't have Views is better than 2014 Fox. Looking like that.
Does J. Cole even have more than one classic album?
He has.
I said the quality of the music. I said the quality of the music is better.
Sir, if you don't have a mic, shut the hell up.
I know. Thanks for having my back. But at the end of the day, I'm just saying he has solid albums, and not just like to me.
J. Cole has solid moments.
Solid moments.
Really
He has
good
solid
albums.
records.
Because his albums are really beautiful.
Pull up the J. Cole albums.
Yeah, his albums
Because
are really
off the top of my
beautiful.
dome, I don't think J. Cole
He
has
has
more than
KOD.
one classic album because I think the other one is a mixtape.
What? What do you mean? The off season, totally, For Your Eyes Only. Like, what are you talking about? He has really solid fucking albums.
You got two. J. Cole has two classic albums.
What's your two for him? From him?
Born Center and 2014.
Okay. So he hasn't had a
What?
classic since 2014 either. So
You're
he's
literally
kind
He on
of
his
joking.
he's on this Drake.
So
Cause
they
Drake
real-
ain't.
They real.
They're really the light skinned bros. I'm telling you right
saying.
now.
Bro, Pride is a Devil. Let me go through his album too. Like,
Bro,
that
now
was
that
really
album
good.
was kind of corn.
I mean, the off season.
Stop.
Why does J. Cole like to throw weird lobs to people like Kevin's
I'm just
Heart?
saying.
Weird lob. Now that's reminding me all his stuff he was doing for Kaepernick, writing him weird poems. And doing
Neighborhood.
stuff.
Stop. Get
Why
off.
does,
It's
why does he
not-
be
you
doing
just made me
that?
remember
He's the one that thought it was a good idea to
Talk
release that
about
damn
nice
letter.
guy.
It was
Doing
terrible idea.
At
J.
the
Cole,
end of
J.
the
Cole got
day-
some bad ideas.
I don't think it's bad ideas. I think he just looks at things differently. You
And
feel
I'm
me?
just
And
saying
that's
that
where I think
he's
as
batting
far
third.
as, like,
He
where
looks
he's
at things like
he's
he's-
not batting third. If we're
He's
batting
not better than
third,
Drake or
where?
Kendrick. He's not better than Drake or Kendrick.
What the
Yes
fuck
or
Are
no?
we talking about? What
Pick
the fuck are we
Cabrera.
talking about? It sounds like
This-
we're talking about two different things right now. When it comes to the artist, and like we were just discussing as far as Drake being number one, but when it comes to rap, you're really putting my nigga in third after Drake when it comes to fucking rap. Be so fucking for real now.
I'm not
Be
going.
so fucking for real.
I'm not gonna
I
lie.
ain't gonna lie.
Drake
Y'all
has
really
some
been
good
pissing me
rap.
off. Switch the topic,
Drake got
because
some good rap
y'all been
records, bro.
disrespected
Drake
over
got
J. Cole.
Lemon Pepper Freestyle. Y'all like Lemon Pepper Freestyle?
Anything where he's
Now you on
talking
Drake's
about
dick,
nightlife?
bro. Can
4
you
p.m. in
just switch the
Calabasas?
topic? I can't.
Drake has some rap records. Y'all acting like y'all two. No. But y'all two are acting like Drake can't rap, and I've always been the proponent of Drake can actually rap. And this was actually going to be a closer
Drake
battle.
better than J. Cole.
This
This
will be
whole
a-
time you talk about J. Cole needs to respond or Drake needs to respond. But
Drake
he's
doesn't
scared
need
to
to fucking respond.
J. Cole-
They
bro,
both need to fucking respond
Rewatch the
because Kendrick is
episode.
number one.
I don't think J. Cole needs to
I'm
respond.
not
Kendrick is
listening to
number
you,
one.
bro.
J. Cole-
You're not about
J.
to,
Cole
bro.
got hit with a
I'm
light
not
slap
doing,
on the wrist.
I'm letting you
Light
guys
slap.
know right now.
I think
I'm
you were-
letting you guys know right now. I'm not hopping on this podcast speaking down about J. Cole no more.
I'm gonna tell
I'm
you.
You're not
finna-
speaking down
I'm
about
not-
him.
I'm
I'm
not letting
speaking-
y'all speak down about him.
I'ma just say
When
like
I
this.
fuck with somebody and that's my
I'ma
artist
just-
and he's my fucking favorite artist, you guys are being so disrespectful.
I'm gonna just say it
bro.
like this.
Y'all are being really
J.
disrespectful.
Cole, you heard it from Blam.
No,
Don't respond.
You didn't
Don't
hear it
respond.
from-
'Cause it
Don't
might
do me
harm you
into
more
that.
than it would
Don't
help
do
you.
me
It will harm him.
It might harm you more
No.
than it would help.
J.
you.
Cole
Leave my
responding
nigga
will
alone,
definitely
bro.
harm him more than it
Leave
will
my
help
nigga
him.
alone,
It
bro.
will definitely.
Leave him alone. Like I'm not gonna keep continuing doing
He
this
go-
with y'all.
that
Y'all
J.
not
Cole
finna
that
keep
J. Cole
disrespecting
that
me
J. Cole
or
disc
J.
gonna
Cole
sound like that
this.
one Safari when he was
So-
rapping on
Y'all
that.
not finna disrespect, bro.
Wait. Let me hit you with the Stephen A. Let me hit you with the
Stephen
Stephen A.
Stephen who?
So Stephen A. says he goes to the
Who
game
the fuck is
sometimes.
that nigga
Hold on,
Stephen?
hold
The
on.
No.
nigga
The-
right here.
hold on. With the hairline like this. Hold on. My hairline looks good right now, by the way. Anyway, so Stephen A. said he would go to the game sometimes and he would see Rich Paul. Rich Paul is LeBron's agent, friend for a long time buddy.
This is too much for me.
And Rich Paul would be like, "Man, I can't.
Don't
I
you
can't.
fuck with LeBron?
I can't. Yes, I do. I can't mess with you, because
This is too
you
much
disrespect
hypocrisy
you
going
disrespect
on.
LeBron. That's what Rich
This is
Paul
too
says to
much
Stephen A.
hypocrisy
So
going on.
Stephen A. is like, y'all tell me that I disrespect LeBron because I have him number 2 all time in like basketball history. Like I just don't think he's better than Michael Jordan. So y'all saying that's disrespectful. I'm
You think
telling
he's better than
you
Kobe?
that J. Cole and my Cabrera, you wanna have the J. Cole flag up. I've listened to all this niggas mixtapes. I've listened to everything. I'll study you, J. Cole. I know J. Cole from front to back, nigga. J. Cole
Pause.
J. Cole.
Yeah,
J. Cole is the reason. Like
Because he was on it. He was on,
he was on his shit, bro. Like we're talking about the warm up. We're talking about Friday Night Lights. That's the shit that I came from. I used to listen to all the time. I used to listen to the warm up in Section 80 like they were the Bible.
Is better than J. Cole.
Anyway,
nothing else you say is valid to me at this
as well, you can say that, but I bet Drake will come number 2 in this little tit for tat. That's neither here nor there.
Nothing else you says is valid.
I compare greatness amongst other greatness. Is this whole part of the thing. To me, J. Cole in my rappers list is a top 10 to 15 rapper of all time.
Disrespectful as fuck.
You don't even want to hear what somebody commented on our TikTok.
I don't care.
Somebody
what
said
commented.
J. Cole's not even cracking top 10. Y'all need to pipe down.
I don't.
No,
even
I'm
care.
saying all time. All time, J. Cole is a top 10 rapper of all time. How is that a bad fucking thing to say? Because I don't think when
But
it comes
you put
to
in Drake above J. Cole.
because
That's
Drake is
where
Drake is
the
battle
wrong thing
tested.
to say.
Drake has went in a battle against Meek and Drake has went in a battle against Pusha T.
Meek
We have never
Mill?
heard J. Cole be battle tested.
Be fucking for real.
He had
Meek Mill,
something to
be
say for Lil
fucking
Pump.
For real.
Exactly.
Be fucking
You
for
had something to
real.
say for Lil Pump.
Nigga, be
We ain't never
fucking
saw
for real.
nobody on J. Cole's
Be
level
fucking for
he
real.
actually rap with.
Be
He said
fucking
some
for
shit
real.
about
'Cause he a
Wale
real-ass
in a
nigga,
nice
bro.
way. He said some shit about Kanye
'Cause he
in a nice way.
Ass nigga, because at the end of the day,
Man, this is rap.
bro,
Fuck all that raw,
you're
real ass
tripping,
nigga
'cause
shit.
At the end of the day, even if I don't fuck with somebody and someone come at me a certain way, you can still say, you know what? I have traits. You have traits that I actually do respect and I admire.
That's not what hip-hop
just the
is.
way
That's
it
not what a hip-hop
I don't care.
is.
At the end of the day,
And that's why
at
he's
this
batting
point,
third.
Drake is
That's
what-
why he's batting third in this era.
Anyway, next topic.
Next topic. We're gonna
Next
go to
question.
we're gonna go to what Kanye West said about this whole beef. You know, Kanye has to be the
he said
center.
about the beef? I thought this
Has
was
to be the
Diddy.
center of fucking attention with everything he does.
Of course.
So Kanye says this on Instagram. Ooh. Everyone knows I watched Kendrick on No More Parties in LA.
Oh God.
Everyone knows I watched Drake at the Free Hoover concert. Everyone knows I brought Adidas into this culture and I took them out. Everyone knows a lot of them,
Why did Adidas
them
get
the
it?
Virgil, Jerry, Kim, all worked for me. I made Yeezus, Dark Fantasy, Pablo, Graduation, Watch the Throne, 808s. I made Runaway, Devil in a New Dress, Father Stretch. I am the only person to come back to number 1 after cancellation. There's only one GOAT. I stand by me. My friends call me Ye. Let me say this right now.
I mean,
Because I'm a, like...
he's in a whole
for-
different category though.
But for a nigga that knows hip hop, it's funny to me that he says he watched Kendrick at No More Parties in LA when number 1. I remember
That was a good song.
I remember a lot of shit, Xavier.
Yeah, I got that on SoundCloud.
We were
so.
waiting for No More Parties in LA to be finished by Kanye West when The Life of Pablo was coming out for a long time. 30 Hours as well. 30 Hours is something that came out. He reread his verse. That's number 1 because he had that song since like 2011, 2010. So you've had No More Parties in LA since 2010, 2011. Kendrick wrote his verse. I still think is a better verse. But he did like a 32. Kanye did like a 60 or something like that. Kanye literally didn't watch Kendrick on that. And you want to keep talking, Kanye? You're the greatest artist of all time, but you want to keep talking? Kendrick already said I'll diss Melly Mel if I had to, nigga. You're not above a diss from Kendrick Lamar. I want you to know that right now. And you cannot rap with that nigga. You're a better artist. You're the best artist of. You're the best artist that.
Whoa. I mean, I'm gonna have to stop you right there.
You're the best
Because
artist.
At the end of the
Hold
day,
on.
Kanye,
Hold on.
You can talk, but you're disrespecting. and
Kanye
that you
cannot
have
rap
almost all
with
these
them.
niggas
He has
out
help.
around this fucking
What are we
house.
talking about right now? Cabria,
you-
stop.
Things change.
He cannot fucking rap with no Kendrick Lamar.
I
You
didn't
better
say rap.
Okay, then let me finish my point.
I said he got Mac Dre on the wall too.
You didn't do nothing. Father Stretch My Head was written by Drake. I don't know why you're saying that you made that song, but when it comes to Drake, our Kendrick, nigga, you can't rap as good as neither of them. So you need to shut up with this. But Kanye has to be the center of attention. Yeah. Yes, you are the greatest artist of all time. Yes, you are the greatest artist of my generation. But nigga, shut the fuck up for you get this diss shit too, because you can't do shit with Kendrick Lamar when it comes to disses.
Yeah, that's wildly unfortunate. I say this as a dude who, up until recently, not that recently, but had a Kanye West air freshener head in my car. Like, that was my GOAT. Kanye. Shut the hell up, dude.
Right. You got to.
Oh my gosh.
Shut up.
You can rap.
You can
yeah.
rap. Eh.
But nobody's, when they're talking about top
Better
rapper.
get high, boy.
Yeah.
To help you.
Yeah, you better call up good music, whoever's left. Whoever's left, shoot, I don't even know who's on
Sean
there
don't even
anymore.
like you
my.
no more.
Yeah, freaking Panda don't even like you no more.
Designer
don't even rock with you no more. Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not having our biggest artist competition right now.
There you go.
We're
This
not
is
talking
rappers.
We're not talking full package
Right.
visuals, lyricism. We're
Right.
not talking we're talking bars. You don't got no bars for Kendrick. I'm sorry.
Right. So you better watch
Kendrick.
the F
You
out.
don't got no bars for Kendrick. Now, if it was who's going to drop a best freaking visual? Who's going to drop a better
Who's gonna make the better beat? You know.
production.
Right.
When it
right.
comes to like the details.
Right.
Details, yeah, we'll give it to the artist. But we're just talking straight hip hop bars.
Man,
You're
get
not
the fuck out of here.
yeah, you're going to have to go somewhere.
What you gotta say about that,
You might
Cabria?
go find you a white woman.
I want you to defend him. I want you to defend him.
I'm not, because I think at the end of the day, it has been already explained and discussed that Kanye has a mental illness. Kanye does say and do a lot of outrageous things. And at the end of the day, I would always sit here and say this, even though Kanye has done things, and as a person, he has a lot of things that he has to figure out and deal with. I just feel as if, and as we go back videos before the same way, and I mean, I'm gonna say what I need to say about Nicki. What he has contributed to hip hop and rap puts him in a category where he's in a whole different category in this discussion. Period. Like, there should have been no attention to Kanye about this whole conversation.
There wasn't. He brought it on himself.
And I'm saying, but what?
Nobody-
once again,
nobody
said shit.
Nobody was
about
talking
Kanye.
Oh my gosh, I'm saying about us bringing y'all.
said they're
bringing
not
this
talking
onto
about my
the
$20
podcast.
shoes?
No, I'm talking about y'all bringing it on the podcast, because I think at the end of the day, Kanye is just in a different space. He deals with a lot of mental illnesses or a mental illness. So that's that. So nothing he says is really something to like pay attention to. And I'm just saying, it just breaks my heart, because as someone that was so highly respected, has contributed so much to the hip hop, to rap, and he's in a bad place, and we all know, and we have seen him publicly spiral, that we just need to just ignore the crazy shit that niggas say and let him get that figured out, but still allow him to have his respect for what he has done. That's all I'm saying.
And all I'm saying,
period. In the same way I
gave
felt,
him his-
let
we gave
me
him his
finish
respect,
my
though.
statement the same
All
way I
right.
felt about Nicki.
You gotta
and
let
the
me
whole Meg
finish
drama.
after this, too.
It was at the end of the day, as a person,
Nicki
you guys
and
will have
Meg.
to figure it out.
Stop bringing up Nicki
I
and
can't
Meg
bring
when
it
it
up 'cause
comes
you guys
to
are talking
Kanye or
about all
Kendrick.
these-
The main focus of hip hop right now is this whole beef. The only reason we're talking about everything
don't like
related
that.
to the beef,
I
only
don't
reason we brought up Kanye is because he inserted himself into the beef.
And I'm
so
saying
we had
you don't
to
have to pay attention to what he said, because Kanye has fucking mental illness.
mental illness. We know
Us-
he got mental
bro,
illness.
we've
but
been
mental
that.
illness
Hello.
doesn't give you an excuse to be walking around being
Saying
a dickhead
whatever you wanna
and
say.
that's what L
People
takes.
with mental,
Bro,
like,
he has
what?
Kanye can have mental illness.
And also believe that he
yeah.
is better than Kendrick Lamar and
But he
Drake,
still
and
has-
that he washed
still
him.
has fans
We're talking about
and
rap,
people who
bro.
like Kanye.
He has a huge-
We're
who
talking
will
about
agree
rap.
with him, and that's how we
All
have
right,
to let
but
him know.
whatever.
Hey, that's a LS take.
Last take.
We agree.
I think
Kanye
everyone
has.
agrees. Kanye says outlandish shit because he struggles with mental health. Like,
Bro,
I don't
Mental
know
health
what else
doesn't
to
give you an
say.
excuse to have an LS
Who
take
cares about
every
Alright.
day.
Who cares
All right.
about that
Once again,
part
I'm
of
on
the?
I'm on the opposite side of the argument, opposite side of the couch. I said what I said.
I
Just
just-
leave
this
him
is-
alone. He shouldn't have been brought up.
This is my thing.
Anything you trying to say is valid, coming from somebody who has already been saying some outlandish stuff and who is struggling with their mental health.
Bro, we're talking about.
It's just ridiculous.
rap. Why are you talking about what he's saying about
'Cause
fucking
you read
Hitler
what
and
he
shit?
said.
We're not talking about okay,
so we not-
hold on,
so
hold
should we
on,
just not
hold
listen to
on,
any of Kanye's
hold on.
music
Yeah,
then?
we just don't listen to
we
anything.
shouldn't-
Hold on, hold
yeah,
on.
We should have listened to his album that just dropped on
Kanye
YouTube.
said
It was really
Kanye
good.
said something.
Musically, he is really-
Kanye
he's-
said something very important in his last Drink Champs interview. He was just talking
I
about
didn't watch it.
the evolution of music. He was saying he was one of the first rappers to be the backpack. Like he was basically calling himself Thanos, and he was saying how Future has been very instrumental in the sound of what we've like in the last 10 years and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about strictly a rap point. I don't give a fuck about what Kanye has going on with his white wife at Cheesecake Factory on 4:00 on a Thursday.
I did see that
I don't
picture.
care about what's going on mentally. I'm not going to say I don't care, because he is one of my favorite artists, and I hope he does get the help he needs.
I hope he does
and
too.
things of that nature. But
ship
when
is
we're
sailed.
talking about rap, Cabria, like
I mean, of
this
course,
whole
I'm just saying.
45,
I didn't know
50,
what you're gonna say about Kanye West.
2-hour conversation that we've had, which I love. By the way, I love this fucking rap shit, and I love that we actually have topics to come in here and talk about when it comes to rap pertaining to the songs and stuff like that. But with that being said, Kanye is the greatest artist of all time to me. My favorite artist of all time. Artist. When we're talking about rap, I'm not talking about what Kanye is saying or anything. I'm talking about Kanye's body of work. Mm-hmm. Some of the best albums I've ever heard in my life. The reason why I love rap music as I love it is because of Kanye West. And his bars are not that. So when you're saying that you washed, bless you, if you washed Kendrick Lamar on No More Parties in LA, or that you did this with Drake, you're inserting yourself into a now rap beef, and now me and Xavier are gonna hold you to the carpet, and we're gonna have a real conversation about rap beef and a rap conversation about Kanye West, because you're not that, bro. You had Sci-Hi and Pusha and all these niggas helping you with your rhymes, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Do what you need to do for the song, but when it comes to lyrics and shit like that, this is the problem we're having with Drake. Don't insert yourself in conversations that you don't need to be in. Period.
Okay.
The College Dropout is one of my favorite albums of all time, if not my favorite album that I've ever listened to in my life. That doesn't mean that you're a better rapper than Kendrick Lamar, that you washed him on anything, that you need to insert yourself in this fucking conversation, bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to him, and I hope he's on his fucking meds.
He's not.
That's what I'm trying to say.
But at the same time,
of course, he's the greatest of all time.
Whether
he has a very
before his mother,
he would have said that.
Before his mother died and he really got crazy,
he would have said that.
He would have said that shit.
That's why I'm like, even with what he said, not everything he said was wrong.
Right.
So you just got to point out the bits and pieces that were
wrong.
You're
wrong.
He is the man that dropped Life of Pablo.
Right. He
is the man that dropped one of my favorite albums, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, which I personally think is his best album he's ever released. He did drop Yeezus, an underrated album that people were not fucking with, way ahead of its time. But that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about artistry. We're not talking about the full package, album production, visual, lyricism. We're just talking straight bars. And that's what Kendrick Lamar is. He's a walking bar.
Okay.
Walking bar.
Bars.
And for Kendrick Lamar to say, I will diss Melly Mel if I had to, that means, nigga, the origins of this hip hop shit, when it comes to like real rap and competition and shit like this, I don't give a fuck who's in front of me. I'm knocking down everybody. And I fuck with a nigga that has that mentality when it comes to rap.
Yeah, people think rap's all buddy because Drake trying to be everybody's friends until he's not. But you gotta think of rap like sports. This is all competition.
There you go.
We're all competing for a spot.
There you go.
And that's why it was different when we were talking about last pod. What was the hardest era of hip hop? When hip hop was truly competitive, when you're all fighting for that one spot, there's only so many spots getting on the radio.
Right.
When you're fighting for that spot, you're forced to put out your best quality work. Now the game is just so saturated, you don't have to. You could just put out music regardless. So now we're trying to rate people to the same standards of what hip hop used to be versus what it is now, and that's like Drake and now Kanye are inserting themselves into conversations where they have not proven themselves.
And that's it.
Well, I won't necessarily say Kanye hasn't proven himself as a lyricist, but he hasn't proven himself to be talking about he's
by
Kendrick
himself.
Lamar.
That nigga has been getting help with his lyrics since College Dropout, and that was his first album.
I don't think Kendrick Lamar got better bars than J. Cole.
Okay.
I don't think Kendrick Lamar got better bars than fucking Isaiah Rashad. But when we're talking strictly, like, he gonna say something, but it's just like how he says it, the metaphors, the verbiage, just the structure of it. I don't know what it is, but it's just not hardcore lyricist.
Okay.
1000%. And that's because he's not writing his records. It flows good. It's okay. You're not writing your records. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. So don't insert yourself in this. You're not writing. You don't write the lyrics like that, bro.
But that's what happens when you have.
You're the greatest artist of all time, though.
Yeah, but that's what happens when you have an egomaniac hearing other people talk about who's the best artist and his name is not in the conversation.
Exactly. And
wait, y'all talking about GOAT and y'all didn't say yay?
Right.
Y'all didn't listen to Vulture? No, nigga.
Right.
No, I didn't.
All right, guys. Big Sean. Big Sean had a birthday recently. Big Sean.
Oh, that's why he was on Tiny Desk?
Well, I don't know if that was why he was on Tiny Desk, but he did have a birthday. He came out with a new single. He came out with a freestyle. And he did have
did you listen to?
I listened to all of it. It was all really good quality.
I didn't even know his birthday passed. That's
How did you
crazy.
like his Tiny Desk, Cabria?
I thought it was short, but I thought it was cool. I mean, yeah, it was okay.
Would you have wanted it longer?
I think some of it could have been a little bit longer, in my opinion. And I think it was just an interesting take. But every time I watch Tiny Desk, I appreciate NPR for even having that and highlighting Black artists, because I think it's like a
1000%.
cool way to hear the song, differently. I thought like how he performed on Tiny Desk was really impressive, because it's like, damn, this nigga sound like his music. Like, it was just like one of those
does.
situations where
He
it's like,
does.
I feel like I was just like, he's like, no, I really did this. Him telling his story. It's just nice to get to know the artist more. And he talked about his son. Like, I thought it was just really beautiful, but I did think it was pretty short. Yeah,
I really didn't.
because he has some fire features. That's all I'm saying.
I
He
didn't
had
like
features he could put
his.
in there.
I didn't like his song selection. I feel like he could have maybe did more. I liked when he did the light on the Tiny Desk, but overall, I've seen a lot of Tiny Desk. That's one of my favorite series on YouTube. So, I mean, ranking his, I wouldn't even put it in the top 10 Tiny Desk that I've seen personally. But
Yeah.
as far as a bigger bigger conversation on Big Sean, he came out with that little quote unquote "Your Big Three" diss or something like that.
Oh, that was.
He did come out with his new record, which I feel like is good. It's gonna be a good gym song for me. What?
Okay.
What?
Pew pew pew.
Somebody also said that Big Sean belongs in the Big Three over J. Cole, but I don't
Somebody
believe
said, or I heard somebody in the comments say that Big Sean, Meek Mill, and Wale are the mid three. I had to laugh at that shit. It was too funny.
that. That's not funny.
I was like, that's facts. That's facts.
Wow.
But-
Mid three for sure.
Where would you guys?
Wow.
Where would you guys?
Put Big Sean.
What's Big Sean's legacy over just his music career in the last 15 years?
I think Big Sean's legacy is kind of depressing because I think
don't do that.
everyone. No, I'm gonna tell you why it's depressing though.
Okay.
Because I think everyone in the group would agree that Big Sean is a really good artist.
He
Really
is.
good.
He's a great
Really good
artist.
Great artist.
He has great albums.
Great
he has
albums.
great singles.
Yep.
He has impactful songs to the culture.
Right.
He has classic songs, hype
Yeah.
songs.
Right.
He does.
But like you said, when it came to his Tiny Desk concert, it was a good Tiny Desk concert. It was really good, but I'm not putting it in my top 10. And I feel like that has a lot to do with his music as well. It's really good.
Right.
And when you listen to it, you're like, yeah, this is really good. But is it better than this? I don't know. Is it better than this?
That's a good point.
I don't know. Because just like that comment said, Big Sean, Wale in the mid three, I really do feel like Big Sean is just the great value version of like a Kendrick Lamar or a J. Cole, just as Wale is the off-brand
Drake.
No, I think Wale is the off-brand J. Cole for sure. He's the off-brand J. Cole Wale or J. Cole Drake fusion. That's
Right,
Wale.
yeah, I agree.
But it's like these are artists that we know are great artists that put out high quality, good, great music, but for some reason have never been able to branch off to being viewed as like truly star capable celebrity status like rappers or musicians. And I don't know what it is, because it's just like I listened to the
what I was
song.
thinking.
It was a really good song, but it sounded like it could have came out in 2016.
True.
It didn't sound like I don't think I've really heard any evolution from Big Sean. He kind of just sounds like Big Sean, which isn't bad.
Yeah.
But it's like I need some dimension.
1000%.
So I would definitely
agree.
put Big Sean in the same lane
I
as
agree.
Wale. Great artist, but it just doesn't do it for me.
Go ahead, Cabria.
I agree. I think you explained it really well, because when I was watching the Tiny Desk thing, I'm like, oh, Big Sean's Tiny Desk. I'm like, I'm gonna put it on because I like Big Sean. And I was like, oh yeah, he had that song. Oh yeah. And it was just very impressive. But to your point, I just think something happened where he wasn't able to break through as far as that same recognition and like same
Star power
as
level.
like Drake. And it's just interesting to study. And I'm like, maybe I don't know what it is. If
don't
it's
know
his
what it is.
management, is it him getting with Janae? Is it, I don't know, him being with Ariana Grande? Like something happened where I think it just impacted his audience and like who really messes with him. And so it just sucks though, because being from Detroit, trying to put, Detroit in the map, and we see a lot of Detroit rappers kind of coming up and that sound being popular again. But I just think like, I don't know, but really from the Tiny Desk, what I kind of got from it and I was impressed by is the fact that maybe he should take a Christian rap lane and he should just venture into that, because a lot of his music that he decided to perform on the Tiny Desk, whatever, was really Christian based, and I can see him probably being more successful in that lane and be able to branch out and get more people. I mean, now he can't really be playing, you know, this ass but his bars went crazy on that.
Put in Big Sean. Wait, put in Big Sean should be a Christian rapper just on his jacket is crazy.
I just thought it. No, I'm not trying to be funny because I don't fuck with you. I'm like, I can see that as far as with the devil. Like, I just can see
praise
it.
With you.
Exactly. Hey. Like, you know, hey, trying to say myself, I can't. Wait, you? I can just see it.
Hey, Xavier,
I can see it.
Xavier, do you think that?
I mean,
do you think that the Kanye cosign hurt Big Sean in the long run?
Dude, I don't know what hurt Big Sean because a nigga like Drake
should be studied.
Would have took advantage of every situation Big Sean has been in. This nigga had a cosign with Drake, signed
with
to
Kanye.
Good Music with Pusha T, John Legend. Who else? Fucking what's her name?
Sci-Hi,
Tiana.
But Tiana.
He's been around a lot of great, phenomenal artists. Right. And then, like Cabria mentioned, this man was dating Jhené Aiko,
still is,
and Ariana Grande, who are both bigger artists than he is. He dropped projects. Some of his best work is with Jhené.
Yeah.
2088. But shout out that album.
What is it that just doesn't keep him from being the best? Right. I think it is that, unfortunately for him, when you in a league with LeBron, you got to play second fiddle. Oh. But when you're in a league with LeBron and Kobe and Jordan at the same time, nobody's really paying attention to you anymore.
But when Jordan is on your label and Jordan is like,
well, you can say that was the demise for everybody on Good Music.
But he's never going to.
Who did Jordan
he's never going to give you the shit that, like, the record that he'll keep for himself. Like Sean was saying, he was helping Kanye with Graduation. Like Sean has been there throughout the whole maturation process of what we've known Kanye to be in that building.
Who would you say is a better artist, Kid Cudi or Big Sean?
Oh,
two people heavily under Good Music, heavily involved with Kanye, who were helped writing and producing his music. Oh, but one person you can definitely say has surpassed that plane of being just a, hate to say it, but just a Big Sean.
I don't think Big Sean has did anything bad. I just don't think. Honestly, this is what my whole thing with Big Sean has been. Like, you have to take that next level and evolve, and like you said, he probably hasn't. And I just think all that came with the music. Like, you're always gonna have the hit. You're always gonna have good quality albums. But have we ever seen a Big Sean album where we say he literally sat there and, like, he doesn't even have, on my ranking, he doesn't even have albums better than Wale. Like, Wale had good cohesive albums where I said, okay, if this was Kendrick or Drake or Cole, you know what I'm saying? Like, Wale to me has had a classic album. Mm-hmm. I don't know, and I would say maybe Dark Sky Paradise is on the edge of that. That had I Don't Fuck With You, Play No Games, shit like that. I'll pull up his albums right now, but I don't feel like Big Sean has really had that classic album.
Maybe because he was busy with helping everybody else. Maybe he's just the best friend.
And
maybe
that's
he's just
the
best
thing.
friend in the game. I'm talented, but I'm here to support. I'm supporting. But
that's exactly why I bring up Kid Cudi. Somebody who was in that same predicament, but for some reason is not viewed the same as that.
But I think Kid Cudi's fans are kind of, and correct me if I'm wrong, I would put him in the Frank Ocean's fans, where he was able to get a very loyal following.
I agree
from
with
his
you there.
Music
I agree with you there.
That put him in that
more
lane. And
niche
Big
artist.
Sean hasn't been able to get that very, like,
and then Kanye
I fuck with Big Sean. Like, he wasn't like, he just wasn't able to, like, come in at the time that he was hot, brand his people in such a way that they just fuck with him regardless. And I think that's the difference between him and Kid Cudi. And that's what I'm like, for me, I'm just more familiar and I like Big Sean's music more, but I just know Kid Cudi was able to captivate, like, audiences more than Big Sean.
I agree with that. Because now that you say that, I do feel like Big Sean perhaps went too mainstream before he had the audience to really support him.
That's probably
because now he has a lot of more opportunities to release more music, a lot of opportunities to go on tours and to go open up for artists. But then the catalog.
That's why I think the Kanye cosign hurt him at the end.
But
he needs to
we can say this. We can say the same thing about a more recent artist like Roddy Ricch. someone who blew up, but once they blew up, fell off. And I feel like part of the reason I think Roddy Ricch was a really great artist. His music before he popped was really good. Before the pre-box, his music was really good. And then as soon as he gets to the precipice, he gets his white fans, his second pop off. He just seems to go directly downhill. And I feel like that also plays into what Big Sean is. I don't feel like he had enough support from his fan base to be at the level where all eyes are on you.
And it's like, okay, so I'm not saying overall ranking, but since I say 2011 to me is really the formation of my music opinion in rap, and that was also the rise of like Kendrick, Nipsey, Wiz, J. Cole, Drake, 2011, the blog era and shit like that. So since 2011 in the era that he's in, where do you rank Big Sean? Because if he's in the top 10 of the rappers you rank since 2011, from 2011 to 2023, and we're talking about Drake, Kendrick, and Cole as the top 3 of that.
He's still in the. He's
Do
still
you rank?
lower.
He's still in top 10, right?
He's still lower though.
Yeah, he just came in with such a powerful class, and I feel like
He's still lower.
He's still in the top 10 for you, right?
He's still lower though. He's lower
top
than
10 of
people.
that class.
Of that class.
Yes,
Xavier, he is.
Let him get his opinion out.
Yes, because I like Big Sean, but he doesn't really have like the catalog to back it up. I think
what
we
I'm
just
saying.
like Big Sean.
His features were great.
Because looking at it too,
Finally Famous was good.
it was good, but his only classic.
My
album,
Last is a classic. He has classic
That's what I'm saying,
records.
He has classic
so-
records. I think we've had this conversation before.
yeah, we have.
When we were talking about we did a versus Big Sean versus Wale. Big Sean has a lot of classic songs, but when we're talking about a singular album, I feel like that's what makes a great artist. You need that project that
Right.
stands out.
That stands
like you
out.
said, Dark Skies Paradise. I don't think it's a classic, but I think that's the closest Big Sean has to
To
a classic.
what
And
he is,
And his
yeah.
next best album was what is it called? I Decided.
I
Yeah.
like that,
That's
yeah.
his next best album, and that's not
That's a
even
good
better than
one.
Dark Skies Paradise.
Right.
No, what's the one? Let me see.
And it's just like,
Let me look it up too.
yeah, maybe Kanye messed him up because he.
telling you.
Because you're hanging out. Because now you're hanging out with Kanye.
There you go.
Your face. You have that expectation. You have that limelight, but then you don't have nothing.
But
to
you
back
have
it
to,
up.
and anything you do, Kanye could damn near still like. I remember Sean was just saying, y'all remember the song "Way Up"? I feel blessed,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah,
Drake
yeah.
was on that.
Oh, I Decided. I like that.
Kanye was
Ooh,
so
Double or Nothing
obsessed.
Was really good too, though.
Kanye was so obsessed with Drake at the time
When it was
that
Metro
he
Boomin.
Kanye was so obsessed with Drake at the time that he literally like made Sean put his verse on there, and Sean helped him with the verse. So it was like shit like that. I can only imagine the amount of stuff that Kanye did to meddle in that man's career. Looking back at it, and now that knowing that he really didn't get paid like he was supposed to, that he really don't own his masters or anything like that, that Kanye was kind of, which Kanye said, I was, what did he say, slave master bought by another slave master. Like he didn't really know.
Yeah, he said Sony made him buy it.
Yeah, he really didn't know what was going on. Like, if he was getting fucked in his deal, of course he's gonna fuck his artists in their deals too. That's basically what Kanye was saying in
Okay.
the whole thing.
Still doesn't
But
make it right.
I think the Kanye code, I'm telling you, the Kanye code side could have messed him up. But I still do think in this generation and what Sean has done, I appreciate him for the moments that he has given the culture. And I still do think he is a top 10 rapper in this era, top 10 artists in this era.
Yeah, that's a hard because who are you saying? Who are you replacing Big Sean with?
What do you, who am I
Like
replacing
what
him with?
artists? What artists in this last 10 years would you say I'd rather have Big Sean than this artist?
Oh, then this artist. I thought she was the other way
Because you're
around.
not even saying I would rather have Big Sean
Over
than
Wale. Yeah, I would rather have Wale over Big Sean. I ain't gonna
Yeah,
lie.
so I'm like, who are you saying I would rather have this artist? I'd rather have Big Sean than this artist. Because
In my
from the
opinion-
last 10
Wiz
years,
Khalifa?
because
I would say Meek Mill. Whoa.
that don't even count.
Meek
though.
Mill, I was thinking I would
was thinking
definitely
Meek
have him
Mill.
over
I'm
Meek
sorry,
Mill.
I
I would have
don't
him over
really
Meek.
like
I've
Meek.
never
I've
liked Meek
never.
Mill,
And
Hey,
so,
I would have
Nightmares,
Big Sean.
Nightmares, whatever. Okay, whatever.
it.
I would have
Whoa.
Big Sean over ASAP Rocky.
Ooh.
Hey, people always like to say, well, Cayman and Fox like to say I always choose the second best person on these labels. I've been telling y'all since 2013,
That
2014.
Ferg was the man.
Ferg was the best person on ASAP, and Rocky drove them to the gutter. As soon as they was popping, he
Don't
wanted to
say
start putting
drove 'em to
clothes
the
on.
gutter. Don't say
as soon as
drove.
they were popping, he wanted to go start wearing
Bro,
sweaters
I
and
was
doing Gap
so
photos.
hyped when ASAP bro.
Drove him out.
Rocky had the game in his hands. He could have been. It could have been the big four. Well, you could have really been talking about
about a fumble.
Actually, it would have really. I don't want
wouldn't
to
put him up there.
I don't
want
to get well. Let me tell you this, Cabrera. Let me give you a little hip hop history. When it comes to 2012 and 2013,
I like
ASAP Rocky was a top
that
1,
bad?
2, 3,
I know.
4.
ASAP Rocky was.
He
that
was a
man.
top 1, 2, 3, 4 at
Mad
that
Kid,
time.
I mean, Mad City, Mad Kid. I was listening to both of those albums
Bro,
back and back.
ASAP
He was
was
forcing
that
Drake
man.
to rap.
He
Back
was
and
forcing.
forth.
He had Drake rapping.
Just because he wanted his.
But it could have really been. It could really have been the big four.
Yeah.
But I would put Big Sean over him.
I'll give you that because Meek Mill.
He could go.
Meek Mill, because I'm thinking
Meek
artists
Mill
that I
could
would
go
put
for
on that
me.
same boat would be a Wale, a Meek Mill, a Big Sean. I don't think Wiz Khalifa and Wale are on the same. Wiz Khalifa's
Yeah.
more like a.
I like.
But I would put him.
Wiz.
I'll put him
He's
as
more
a
of a
top 10
niche.
in this era. I'll put it in
I
a
like
top 10 in this
Wiz.
era because
Yeah.
Wiz's rise was he was. I wouldn't say he would be up there with Rocky
Taylor.
and Drake and
So
Kendrick, but he
Rocky-
was up there too.
So
Taylor
Rocky,
Gang. Black and
ASAP
Yellow,
Rocky,
Black and Yellow.
Kid Cudi, Meek Mill. We forgot about freaking Ace Hood.
He's over
Okay,
him.
I'm definitely taking him over Ace Hood and who was on the song? My Nigga.
YG. Ooh.
No.
Rich Homie Quan.
Oh, Rich
Oh
Homie
yeah,
Quan.
you definitely could.
Are
take
you
Big
putting-
Sean over
Taking
Rich
over
Homie
Rich Homie
Quan.
Where does YG ranking, y'all? Ooh, YG
And
is
YG
up there for
versus
me.
Big
I
Sean.
ain't
But
gonna
then
lie.
West
the people
Coast,
were
YG.
taking him
But-
over. Nobody
mean?
likes. The people were saying, "Yeah, I take Big Sean over him." People are like, "Yeah, nigga, me too." He wasn't in the conversation.
YG that guy. Well, YG
YG's
fell off.
up there, but
YG
recently
fell off.
YG been kind of.
Yeah, he fell off.
I
As soon
don't
as
know.
After
shaved
that
his
first
head.
album, but what YG has that Big Sean doesn't. My
classic.
Crazy Life is a effing classic.
But he has fans.
Album.
Though. He has a fan base.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
that's the NBA. It's like you can say whatever, but you don't got a ring.
True.
You don't got this ring though.
Right.
That's what you're all training for.
Yeah.
I got what y'all are working for.
And I
so
get what
you
you
can have
guys-
all the awards, you can have the most points, you
Right.
can have
Right.
the most rebounds.
But this
you can get
ring,
MVP,
boy.
but you don't got this.
And I
Yep.
get
You
what
don't
y'all
got
are
this.
saying, and I think as we're having this conversation, because again, as we're having this conversation, we're also not bringing in women rappers. And what I think he did mess up on is the fact that, to you guys' point, I didn't know like as far as who he was like hanging out with at the time. Maybe he thought because of their stardom, he would be able to get away with it as far as just getting his fans. But what he should have done, and what a lot of people need to pay attention to, is what JT from the City Girls is doing, which is doing small little tours to get her fan base on, and then to drop her her debut solo album, so that she's
Damn,
able.
you be making me shit on. By the way,
No,
Nicki Minaj is
JT.
top
They-
5
they
in this
miss- they
generation.
They think they missed their call.
By the way,
No,
Nicki
City
Minaj is
Girls-
top 5 in this generation. I just want to say
I'm
that.
just saying